Welcome back to the Andy Ramage podcast. This week's fabulous guest is Jenny McDevitt. This is just a great conversation about all things alcohol-free, the way podcasting should be. I think it's its origins of what made podcasting great, why we all love this genre. It's just a really inspiring conversation between two people. Rather than getting caught up in the marketing hype or trying to sell something, it's just an exploration of all the joys of being alcohol-free. And in this you will find out, and this is the big one, how Jenny saved me from total mortification. So stay tuned to find out exactly what that is. And before we begin, just a really, really quick reminder, this podcast is sponsored, as always, by my coach business .school, where I train the next wave of brilliant life coaches, executive coaches and alcohol-free performance coaches. Everyone that trains with me on the diploma course gets the specialism of alcohol-free performance coaching baked into that course as a gift from me for free. And also we have our fabulous drink called Authentic Brew, authenticbrew.com. This is functional wellness at the elite level. This is how you bring health and flourishment. That's not a word, but if it was, it would be associated with Authentic Brew, and everyone's drinking it because it's good for you, good for your family, and really good for the planet. 25% of all net profits goes back to rewilding people and places. Authenticbrew.com. And if you put AR10 in at checkout during January, you'll get 10% off any orders. Get amongst it. Come on, what are you waiting for? All right, without further ado, let's get into a really great conversation. You, myself, and Jenny. Firstly, welcome to the Shomra.
Thank you very much.
How is my pronunciation of that, by the way?
No, Shomer, that's perfect.
That's perfect.
That's exactly how you pronounce it.
And you're fluent in Irish?
I am fluent in Irish, yeah. Well,
yes!
I suppose Shomer is not too difficult a word to pronounce.
It's about as easy as it gets.
Yeah, I could give you some more difficult ones, but no, I think Shomer is easy to say. It sort of looks like when you spell it out for how you pronounce it. So no, Mahu, well done.
Thank you. Or Mohambukel.
Mohambukel, yeah.
What's that? Is that good boy? Good boy. Yes, see, look at me. I'm almost fluent.
I know, yeah. We just need to get you some books, because I see that there are no Irish books. So
no,
we can...
No, you're right.
We can get some and put them up there.
We will. Mm-hmm. And thank you as well for travelling.
You're very welcome.
All the way from the Emerald Isle to Essex.
I know, yeah.
Which is there's very Irish. Essex has got a long history of Irish people being here, and obviously my lovely wife Tara's Irish, so you're sort of,
I know, yeah.
Hamish.
I'm among my own people.
You are, and exactly that. The Irish are just this wonderful race of people that are everywhere.
Exactly, yeah.
Basically, it's almost impossible to know someone that isn't somehow Irish or connected.
Yeah, I think you
Ireland.
walk into, I think I'm home in Dublin now, but I spent 15 years working away, and any office I walked into, there was at least one Irish person there. So yeah, we are everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And wonderfully so. So thank you, first and foremost, for joining me.
You're very welcome.
I'm excited to have this conversation. So really where I want to go with this today is talk about my favourite topic, which I know is yours as well.
It's one of my favourite topics.
One of your favourite topics.
Yes.
Yeah, and we've got to know each other over many years now. How long are you alcohol-free?
So I'm alcohol-free. It was 4 years in June. So coming up to 4 years. But I had been following you for, I think, about 3 years beforehand, because I remember you did a talk in Edinburgh about being alcohol-free, and you had your book, and I have signed a copy of it. One of my sisters and we were at that talk in Edinburgh.
My God. Do you know what?
Because I used to live there.
This is amazing. I cannot believe this has happened on the podcast.
Yeah.
And you know what happened? So this is one of those stories I tell all the time. And do you know what? That makes so much sense. So I'll tell the story. So we're in Edinburgh.
Yep.
And this was at the one, beer days.
Yep.
And it was one of my first ever public talks, and I was really, really nervous about it. Again, as someone that found public speaking really hard, and a skill that I've really had to draw over the years. And I really rehearsed a lot for that talk, and I was doing it with Rory at the time.
Yeah,
Rory
I
was
remember,
there. And that complicated the whole thing, because there was two of us in a talk, and like trying to get Rory to conform is like trying to herd cats. It was never going to happen, right? So he was the very opposite of me. He was this sort of flamboyant extrovert that could just stand up in front of a group of people and start talking. And I just couldn't do that. So I had to be really well rehearsed, and we go on stage and we do this talk, and there was probably about 20 people in the audience, not many. Like it was a tiny little gig. And we got through it anyway. And at the end they said, oh, you've got this book out. You're going to do a book signing. And I was like, cool, I've never done a book signing before. And anyway, there's a bit of a kerfuffle at the end of the talk, and there's a couple of people looking around. And in the audience of 20, probably 15 of them were Rui's family. Being Scottish. So we had to do that at the end, and we had to say hello to everyone at the end of the talk and whatnot. So there was a bit of a pause, and the hall's emptied out now, apart from just us. And then when we open these sort of swing doors, as you can imagine, in this, like, it's the assembly rooms.
Oh, it's the assembly rooms, I've
in Edinburgh.
been to a couple of things there.
There's this huge queue. And I'm literally, I'm looking at this queue, and it's going out of the assembly rooms. So it's about, 50 metres long into the street, queuing up for our book. I'm like, this is unbelievable. This is my first ever book signing. And there's people queuing out. And then the penny drops, and it's like, well, hold on a minute. There's only about 20 people in that room, 15 of which were Rui's family. Why is there such a queue? Something's not quite right. And as I sort of scanned the length of the queue and kept scanning, and eventually I got to its source, and there was our pile of books on a table, but there was a table just adjacent to it. And who was there? Rangan Chatterjee. It was a new experience. I had queue envy for the first time in my life. I was like, look at the size of his queue. Our queue, one person. Well, two.
It was me and my sister. We were definitely there.
Sister. That is so wonderful. I've told that story so many times, and I couldn't remember who it was there. But you saved us, right? From that horrific embarrassment of being next to Rangan with his huge queue and us with no one. And you were the only two people that came along. And that was enough for us to feel so... So we signed those books, and we had photos done. That's so cool. And Jenny, I didn't know that.
Oh, have I not? Oh, I thought I had told you this before. Oh, yeah. No, so that was... Know that. Yeah, so I have the book. I have signed a copy of the book. My older sister has a signed copy of it. No, so that's Claire. So Claire has a signed copy, and then we got a copy from my mum as well. So, so we bought 3 books, not 2. While we were in the queue as well.
Exactly. So, that sort of saved us. Our pile of books went down ever so slightly, and we were like, and then we sort of slowly sloped off after that, because it was a bit embarrassing. And actually I ended up doing Rangan's podcast. You probably heard me tell that story on the podcast, and if you remember, but it was you that was in that story. If only I'd known, I would have name-dropped you in there.
Oh, sorry, I thought I had told you this.
No. Oh, this is wonderful.
So anyway.
What a wonderful start. So... It's been so nice to have that positive impact on you. And then you just told me a story about one of your other sisters, Maggie.
So Maggie, my younger sister, so it was when you were doing the Arate Way course. So it was a self-development, like kind of self-development 1 month training. And it was, you were saying, just focus on and just do one thing. And at the time she said, right, I want to be able to run 5K. I can't do that. So this would have been... maybe it was about June 2021. So kind of 4 years ago. She said, right, so by the end of that month, she was able to do 5K. She's now done like multiple 5Ks. She then built up to 10K. She has done a couple of half marathons. She ran the Limerick Marathon in May, and in April next year, she's got a charity place. She's going to run the Paris Marathon.
What a woman! Go on, Maggie.
Yeah, so she's gonna do that. So I'm so proud of her. And as she said, just pick one thing and focus on it. So I will be there in Paris with her, minding my niece and nephew and cheering her on as she's going round.
Exactly. It's tough that cheering.
It is. It's difficult. We'll probably make posters for her as well, like me being me, I'll have like looked at the route and plan it and see kind of where can you stand in one place and then walk like 100 meters so that you see her again. So I've got a couple of months of training that I can do before that, so I can so I can make sure that it's all okay.
Good on you. So let's wind the clock back a little bit. You're on your alcohol-free adventure now, as mentioned, for four and a bit years. 4 and a bit years, which is incredible, isn't it? It's such a wonderful place. Every
so often I have to just shake myself and go, I've done it.
Yeah, and again, not that I think all cultures like a drink, and I found that, and it's easy to fall into the stereotype of thinking, oh, it's harder in Ireland than it is in certain parts of the UK.
Yeah.
But I do think that there are certain nations and cultures that definitely make it a little bit harder.
It is, and I think when I originally stopped, I said, right, I'll do a month, and like ever since, like, so I started drinking when I was 18. Like, I've always given it up for Lent, so I've always done an alcohol-free period every year. So
how did you find those breaks?
So it being Lent, it's a very different mindset because I'm giving up something that I really enjoy.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Yeah, so it's like, not like I'm trying to change my relationship.
It was
sacrificial.
Yeah, it was sacrificial, and it's be like, right, I'm giving up alcohol and chocolate. Obviously, I could break it on Patrick's Day and my birthday, because my birthday's in March, but that's a totally different thing. But it was very much, I'm giving something up.
Yes.
And I'm suffering, and I'm miserable, but I'm doing something that's good for me, but pious. I don't I can do it. But then taking a break from alcohol, originally saying, right, I'll do 30 days. Because, that'll be really, really good. I think it's a very different mindset. And as well, because I was surrounded by other people that were further along in their alcohol-free journeys, I noticed that they had so much energy. And they all talked about how they had brilliant sleep and how they were just generally happier in life. And I thought, I haven't seen it like that before. This could be something really, really good. And yes, different mindset. And then the 30 days, I thought, I want to get to 100, because I want to get to 3 digits. That'd be really cool. And then by the time I had got there, I thought, oh no, let's just go for a year. And I've kept going. And it's amazing. But I do agree with you. It is kind of back to your point on with different cultures. It is sometimes, if you say to somebody, I'm taking a break from alcohol, it's either like, all right, or like, are you on antibiotics? Or being a woman, it's like, are you pregnant? Or it's a very hushed, like, do you have a problem? I don't think people yet are in the mindset of seeing it as actually a really positive thing to do for your health.
It is changing, though, I must say.
It is changing, and it's much better. And I think people are a bit more open to it. But even and it's only 4 years since I started. Some people, there is still a bit of a mindset of like, why would you do something mad like that? But actually, by doing it, it's made everything else in my life so much better.
And we'll get to that. And what it's been lovely to see in Ireland as well, a place where I spend so much time, Tara being Irish, and you know, my friends are there. I'm always over and back. I was there just recently for a 50th, and the cultural shift in Ireland has been huge around alcohol-free drinks in terms of Guinness,
Guinness Zeros. Yep.
Well, wherever you go in Ireland, actually, they've always had a better selection of alcohol-free alternatives than the UK had. And what I've seen is this real, like, it just embraced by the Irish culture that there doesn't seem to be any stigma now around ordering a Guinness Zero. Yeah. No sort of like, before, wind back the clock, 8-9 years ago, if you'd asked for an alcohol-free alternative in certain bars, they literally would have looked at you like, well, and they would have, had to sort of look around the back shelves to find some like dusty old, like rubbish drink that was warm and had, like, whereas now it's like, yeah, cool. And actually, when you observe the bar, and I always do, I see as many alcohol-free drinks going out of the bar in Ireland as I do alcoholic drinks, which is what a cultural shift that is. Yeah,
it's good because it means then you're still involved and you're still there, and you aren't missing out. And I think as well, even looking at just people as they get older, like, you can't drink, like, if you're 40, you can't drink like you used to when you were 20. So I think people just naturally can cut down, and this gives them a good way that it still looks like you're having a drink and you're still part of everything, but you're having an alcohol-free alternative which tastes as good, you'll sleep better, and you'll wake up the next morning without a hangover.
And you still have the crack.
You still have the crack. You're still there. You're not missing out.
And we have to explain what that is, by the way.
Yes.
Because I'm so familiar with that word and I use it a lot. And then we're making this documentary at the moment. And they're all North American, they're either Canadian or US based. And I'm always talking about having the crack.
Yeah.
And then one of them said one day, Andy, like, what's the story with the crack?
Yeah.
Like, what like, what, we think that's
Yeah.
a drug. I'm assuming it's not crack cocaine you're talking about. I'm like, no,
of course
it
not.
could be the opposite.
Yeah.
So for all this time, they've been thinking I'm saying, oh, I'm having great crack. And somehow I've stopped drinking, but now I'm taking crack. I'm like, no, it's like a colloquialism. I just assume everyone knows what that means. So we do need to define.
We do need to define it. So we'll spell it first.
Yes, let's do
so
that.
that people know. So it's an Irish word. So spelled C-R-A-I-C, and pronounced crack, as Andy has been pronouncing it. So you know how to pronounce two Irish words. Well done. So it's I tried to translate it. It's just good fun and humour and a good and fun atmosphere.
Yeah, and that's what the Irish do better than anyone else.
Exactly.
And I think the Irish pubs are the best pubs in the world.
Yeah.
Bar none.
Definitely.
The service is incredible. You know, it's a real art form. You'll see 3 generations in an Irish pub.
Yeah.
And I tell the story, which I think is quite poignant for now, is that we went to Adair Manor.
Yep.
It's the most incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little treat to Tara and I. They have the Ryder Cup coming up next. It is about as nice as it gets. I've got to say, it was absolutely incredible. And we went into Adair Village and we walked in and same scene on a Monday, right? This is the difference between Irish pubs and in the UK. If you went into a pub on a Monday in most rural places, you wouldn't really get a lot of people in there. It was heaving at lunchtime, like heaving. This place was banter everywhere, crack, people laughing. Lots of people weren't drinking, so I observed that straight away, but they were in that ambience, that place to connect. It's like the hub of the community. And I saw an old boy at the bar, very traditional Irish scene, drinking his pint of Guinness.
Yep.
Up and down the land of Ireland, you're going to see a lot. That's a very similar scene, right? Old guy at the bar, drinking his Guinness, probably comes in for his 5 or 6 Guinness, every day, wobbles home. Yeah. And his son walked in, and I knew it was his son because he just looked similar to him.
You can tell, yeah.
Yeah, and his son was probably about my kind of age, I'd say, late 40s, 50s. And he sat down with his dad. And it was that moment that I think historically that almost baton is passed on from generation to generation of drinking. You sit at the bar, it's what you do. You drink your Guinness, you wobble home. And he sat next to his dad and he ordered his drink. And I didn't see what he'd ordered. And then when it came out, I saw it was a shining pint of 0-0.
Yeah.
And I felt like going over and like cheering. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And they'd be like, what's this English bloke doing, cheering at us for? But in my mind, that was like, wow, that's amazing. What a cultural shift. The son was able to be with the dad, be present with him, connect with him in a way that sons and dads have been doing for generations, but breaking that cycle of sitting there with an alcoholic drink. He was able to sit there with a non-alcoholic drink. And that's such a recent cultural shift because that wasn't available to that particular guy up until 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it's brilliant. And that if when you go into a pub and if you look along the bar, it's you can see Guinness, but you can also see Guinness 0-0. It isn't hidden away. You can. It's a lot more visible now that there are so many alcohol-free options, and that they make them just easily available.
Yeah, and Ireland as a country is so progressive with this now. Not only is it progressive in terms of the alcohol-free alternatives, the alcohol-free movement is huge there. And it debunks so much of that cultural stereotype that I know a lot of my Irish friends really dislike. The sort of fighting, drunken Irish, which, again, where that comes from, and it's just been proliferated, over the years, it's just not true.
No.
Like wonderfully educated people that have so much culture and art and creativity that gets overlooked when the president comes to visit. What do they give him? A pint of Guinness. Yeah. As if, that's all we do. It's not all you do.
No.
It's just like a little sideshow in amongst all the wonderful culture.
Exactly, in amongst everything else.
The crack's still there without the pint of Guinness.
Yeah, it is. And it's opening up a lot more. People can just see it. And that it isn't like you're now you're not the weirdo that doesn't drink anymore. It's, you don't drink, grand. And I think it is. I'd love it to get to a stage where it's just not even really part of the conversation because it's just something that's accepted.
I think it's really close to that happening, which for me is the most amazing thing, because I wasn't sure whether I'd ever see that almost in my lifetime. I thought, we're never really going to get there, all right, there'll be lip service paid to these things. But because of the alcohol-free drinks, I really believe it's almost there, that you could go into a bar with most groups and order an alcohol-free alternative, and most people now won't even bat an eyelid.
Yeah, exactly.
Therefore, I think we've accelerated so far. The one exciting part, disappointing part, is that there's legislation due to come out in Ireland to be the first ever country in the world to put full warning labels on bottles or alcohol bottles, which I think is only right. It's just awareness raising, and they let people make their own decisions. And that was all set for May 2026, so not far away. And I'm seeing the rumblings come through. It's so bloody annoying. Because of, and that's been, we're not talking, that's not a recent decision. That's years and years and years and years in the making, that decision. You're talking about 5 years in the making. And right at the last minute, what has happened? Lo and behold, the lobbyists have stepped in, and it's been put back. And I can imagine that will be a moving target, that as soon as we get close to it again, it'll be put back. I'm so disappointed by that.
It might be, but I mean, if you think of it, we were one of the first countries in the world to ban smoking.
Exactly.
And that was, I think that was 2000. Yeah, that was, I think it was about 2004. And nobody thought that you could have an Irish pub that wasn't full of cigarette smoke. And we've done that. So I think we probably will be able to bring it in. It may just take more time, and it may, I don't know, they may decide, like, where are the labels going to be put on the bottles so that they're not as visible, but if it's on the agenda, it will be brought in. It is just a case of when. Yeah. And we've done it with smoking. There's no reason why we can't do it with alcohol.
And again, that speaks volumes to Ireland being such a progressive country that's been stereotyped wrongly for far too long. And actually, they're at the forefront of this change or awareness. That's all that. That's what matters to me. Let people become more aware.
Exactly, and they can just make the choice. Because my a lot of my Irish friends, like, they'll still they still drink. Yeah, it's fine. But
that's the mine.
But they make. I think what I'm noticing is, as we're all getting older, they're making different decisions about how they drink. They'll sit and, like, one of my friends, like, they had done a tour of all the certain Spanish vineyards. So they brought back that wine, but they'll sit and they will enjoy it and savour it. They're not, like, knocking back a bottle a piece every night. It's a considered decision that they're making.
Yeah, and that's, I spoke about this recently in one of the episodes on the podcast, is my views on moderation, which I don't think you can moderate particularly well, because moderation, the word, means to me, I want more of something, but I'm going to resist
and trying to control
and drink less, and that's always doomed to failure, because your willpower tanks are like metaphorical muscles. Eventually they run out, you're tired, emotional, hungry, the one drink becomes 5, and once you've had 2 drinks anyway, your prefrontal cortex offline, so like, you've lost your emotional and behavioural regulation, because it's not, you've got that temporary brain damage. Whereas I think there are those arguments for those that are mostly dry, as we described it, that might on occasion, for whatever reason, because they've got something that they've been to a nice vineyard for, that they want to savour and enjoy. I think if people can end up with a relationship with alcohol like that, again, like, through my map of the world, that's never going to happen, because I've got no interest, don't care. But I completely understand it for other people, and I think that those that can enjoy alcohol that way, good on them, if that's what works for them. I think that's important. I think it's important to acknowledge that lots of people, even listening to this podcast, will drink on occasion, no doubt, but they'll see taking a break or being generally alcohol free as the bedrock of their healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. Just because I think of what I have found is, by removing alcohol, it's removed a lot of just clutter in my head, because otherwise, if, let's say, going out for dinner, it's right, what'll will we have prosecco or champagne to start? We'll have, like, wine with the main courses. Do we need a dessert wine as well? That's all gone.
You can't underestimate the amount of noise that takes up space.
It takes away it for me anyway. It's taken away all of that noise. I'll go out and I will enjoy the food, and I probably nearly now always have a dessert as well, because why not?
Wine, go crazy.
But it removes all of that noise, and I don't have to worry about, will I say something stupid? Will I say something I'm going to regret? I'll go home when I want to go home. There's no staying out ridiculous hours anymore. And then I sleep really well. I think if someone said, you could go back drinking and it wouldn't affect your life too much, I'd say, oh God, no. Why would I give up full 8 hours of sleep? My sleep is so nice now.
Yeah.
And being able to wake up in the morning with a completely clear head is amazing.
Yeah, and let's talk about that in terms of, first and foremost, the noise that alcohol takes up, the space that it takes up inside your brain. I think people completely underestimate the impact. As an average drinker, middle lane drinker, that noise continually has. Yeah. I'm feeling a bit stressed. Will I have a drink? Is this a 1 drink moment, a 2 drink moment? Yeah. What times does the bar open? You go to the wedding, and the whole wedding, the joy of the day gets pushed out by... What time's the bar going to open? There's a bloody massive queue at the bar. What's everyone drinking? Now I've had too much to drink. Can I dance? No, I need a few more drinks. And before you, there's no space to enjoy the day.
Or it's an Irish wedding and you go to the residence bar afterwards. But no, one of the biggest shocks of my life was going to some of my English friends, their weddings. And I was like,
it ends, doesn't it?
What do you mean there's no residence bar?
It just stops at 11 o'clock. It's lights on. Hold on, the Irish wedding is just starting.
It's just starting, Most of them go on till about 3 or 4 in the morning.
My wedding, I woke up the next day, came downstairs, and there was a load of them still up. I was like, oh my, you're going to be a complete disaster today. But they were still up. Yeah. Different game.
Yeah, so it's not it's the sleep. Sleeping really, really well, and then waking up, and I would say I generally wake up at some point between about 7 and 7:30. Even if at a weekend I wake up at 8 o'clock, I've had a sleep in, but I have the whole day ahead of me.
Yeah.
And I am tired. I can make plans. I'm consistent. I can do, really whatever I want. It's that freedom. And it, that's absolutely priceless. There's then, financially, the amount of money that I've saved as well. The holidays I've gone on. I've brought the retreats. Yes, that was nice link, Andy. Yes, fabulous retreat that I went on in Ibiza a few weeks ago. That was life changing. That was amazing. So the retreats, I've brought my niece and nephew we've been to Disneyland Paris, we've been to Alton Towers, we've been to Legoland, we're going to go there again. It's just the freedom that it's given me.
That freedom is such a lovely word.
Yeah.
And people constantly come back to that word, and I certainly do. It's freedom from something that definitely has you trapped in ways that you never really appreciate until you take a long break, and then you realise for all of those years it was keeping you in behaviour you just didn't want, thinking patterns that weren't serving you. You didn't have the energy and maybe the drive or the ambition or the courage to change certain things in your life. So it really is trapping you, and I think making you small. And then when it's gone, there's just this freedom of I could be anything, do anything. I'm consistent again. I've got my courage, confidence back.
And because I had so when I stopped drinking, I was living in Edinburgh at the time, and about a year later, that was when I decided, actually, do you know what? I've done 15 years away. I've lived 10 years in Edinburgh. I lived in Luxembourg. I thought, do you know what? I'm ready to go back home. And I think possibly had I still been drinking, I mightn't have had that clarity to be able to make that decision. And having the freedom, the clarity of mind, and being able to say, no, actually, I want to go back home.
I want to be with. So important what you've just said there.
I want to be really involved in my niece and nephew's lives. I want to be there for them. I want to be consistent with them, and that it's I'm living, I'm really in their lives. It isn't that I live away and I fly home every couple of months to have a bit of time with them. I'm in their lives. I'm involved, And I'm just, since stopping drinking, I'm a better person. I suppose on the family side, it's like I'm a better daughter, I'm a better sister, I'm a better auntie. Just in general, I'm just a better person for it.
Yeah, I think it's even that we're not necessarily better. You're just actually authentically you again, instead of
exactly
a lesser version of you
Yeah.
that's created by alcohol, whether you're intoxicated or you're recovering from that intoxication through poor sleep and you become grumpy or tired.
Yeah.
And what you said there was really, really important, was that, and I have such a strong belief in this, when alcohol is in our life, even as average drinker, it makes us weak in our decisions. So I don't think we have the time, the clarity. We lose confidence. I really believe it takes away our confidence. So those moments of reflection maybe don't materialise. So instead of you leaving Edinburgh to come home, you stay.
Yeah.
Because you're weakened by alcohol.
Exactly, yeah.
And imagine the negative implication that might have had on your life over the next 5 to 10 years, not being part of your wonderful nieces and nephews' lives.
Yeah.
Whereas you had the clarity to make that courageous decision, which it always is, to go back home. And now you're living this life that is so much more connected to who you are and your values and showing up authentic. Like, what a gift that is from removing alcohol, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's just do one thing, one decision, and it's changed everything for me.
And it is exciting to see it blossom.
And even like I'm 4 years into it. Like, what's the next 4 years? But what'll that hold? What'll the next 10 years hold? I don't know yet. I suppose I know where I'd like to be, and I may end up there, or I may end up doing something completely different. I think it now, though, with having the clarity, I'm open to a lot more. I just whatever, like, and life will always throw challenges. Yeah, call them challenges. We won't call them difficulties. It'll always throw challenges at me, as it'll throw at everybody. But I know I'm able to deal with them. I will be able to deal with what's put in front of me, and I know that I can, because I've been through other situations, and I'm facing them alcohol free, with clarity of mind, with better routines, with better mindset. I know I can do it.
Yeah, and that is, again, another running theme, is that mental resilience that comes from being alcohol free, of dealing with life and all its curveballs.
Exactly.
With a clear head and not resort. And I think when we do resort to alcohol, which is a traditional route for many of us, it certainly was for me, it weakens you again, because you don't handle that situation as authentically you, and as raw and as challenging as that might be. And when you come out the other side of it alcohol free, you keep that courage and that confidence, and it builds for the next challenge, so you become more resilient. But when it's really driven through alcohol, you've tried to blot it out, essentially.
Or thinking of it as, this will really help to relieve my stress, and it may for a moment, but it doesn't. And it's then knowing, I can do it. I know I have the healthy habits, the routines. I know I can face it, because as you've said, life is always going to throw curveballs, but it's having the clarity, the resilience to work through them, and to be able to acknowledge that potentially a situation isn't ideal at the moment, but it will pass, and I just have to get through it. And knowing how to get through it without resorting to try to relieve stress in an unhealthy way.
And that's it. You've got the tools.
I have the tools. I can do it. Sometimes things just aren't good, but you just get through them, and I know that I can.
And that sense of excitement coming through, which again, I know these are running themes, and I like to highlight them all the time, because it's what I consistently see. What is it you'd love to have as a human? Excitement for the future. What do most humans have that I see that are still drinking is no excitement for the future. It's just like a bit like, I've got to get through it. It's going to be a bit of same old. Whereas then I step into the world of alcohol free, and I see this continued excitement for the future. Don't know necessarily what's going to be in that future, but I know I've got the resilience to deal with whatever life throws at me. But also I'm really excited about the consistency, achieving new goals, meeting new people, thinking new thoughts. That's the joy that comes through, isn't it? That I see in your face now as I sit across from you, which is just wonderful.
And it's with let's say the people that I met on the retreat, people that I've met on the different courses, we all have that in common. We all have that excitement of what lies ahead. And yeah, there'll be uncertainty. We don't know what it's going to look like, but yeah, it's looking forward with excitement, not with dread, or not with like just total apathy of like, oh, I have to work for like the next 20 years until I can retire. It isn't that. There'll be bad moments, but there always are. We get through them, and there's always something good in every day that happens. So it's looking for those glimmers of hope, contentment, happiness, that they're there.
And for those people listening, that are at the start of their adventure, or maybe in those early days, or even thinking about going alcohol free, what sort of advice would you give to them for your lived experience?
I think there's a couple of things. I think pick a number of days and just stick to it. I would suggest starting with 30, because it's about a month. It doesn't sound too scary. So pick it, and you'll probably find that once you get there, it's like, want to get to 100, want to get to 3 digits, and it'll probably grow from there. I think as well, realise that it's a habit that you're trying to break. So you will have moments where it's not going to be easy. You may have, I had one moment where my emotions just all came out. So it would have been 2021, was watching the Tokyo Olympics. This is an Irish gymnast called Rhys McClenaghan, absolutely brilliant. He's up there doing his routine on the pommel horse, and he fell off. And I cried for about, I would say, 2.5 hours afterwards. I was like devastated for him. But it was obviously all of those emotions were just in there, and they needed an outlet. And it could have been, I don't know, a sad song or a sad film, but it happened to be watching the Olympics that I had that moment. And I cried for about 2 hours. So you might have something like that. So don't worry, it's okay. You probably will have, hopefully yours won't be a crying watching the Olympics moment, but you may have an equivalent of that.
Yeah.
Recognise that that's okay, that's healthy. Let your emotions out. Let them out in a healthy way. And I think I'd say to people as well, if you go into it thinking, this is going to be really boring, I'm not drinking, life's just going to be awful. It probably will be. You'll probably get to the end of that 30 days and feel no different. Whereas if you go into it with excitement and curiosity, and as a challenge of, this is something I am going to do, the sense of achievement that you will get at the end of it is phenomenal, is amazing.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And I think that's what that would be my advice to people.
Yeah. And very similar to my own. It's that see it as a challenge.
Yeah.
Spend some time with it, look for the wins, see what comes up for you, and then at the end of that time, be it 30 days, 90 days, 100 days or more, just reflect and think, what do you want to do then? And it might be you continue, it might be you go back and experiment, and then very often those experiments will tell you everything you need to know anyway, because you'll wake up feeling absolutely rubbish again, and it's like, actually I think I prefer my time on the fun side of the island. But by giving yourself the opportunity to see it, then you can't unsee it. And then you can always come back to it. And I think that's probably what a lot of people listening, no doubt, are experiencing similar types of strategies where they've taken breaks and then gone back, or maybe they're on a longer run of it now. But I think it's just reminding yourself that life's just an experiment. Have fun with it. If it makes you feel a bit better in some of these departments, just do more of it. Yeah,
exactly. And look at, I think for me, I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, sleep was a big one. Other people I know have found that they've now found this new love of exercise. So they go off and do 5K, marathons, ultra marathons, all of those different types of challenges. Others I think I've known as well who've started to write, and that they're writing like phenomenal pieces and blogs, or going back to let's say, art and painting, and it'll give you a lot of headspace and just free time as well, because let's say your Saturday morning isn't going to be recovering from the night before you're sleepy. Like you'll wake up. Well, you may not be full of energy, depending. You'll have more energy than not. That you will find space for new things, and you will find other things that you enjoy, that you will want to do, that will light you up and that will serve you. And it's about finding those.
Yeah. So let's finish with
Perfect.
a quick fire round. What are some of the benefits? So like rapid fire.
Okay.
Top 5 or so benefits that you've noticed.
Sleep, really good. I feel like I've more time, probably because I wake up earlier. I'm more consistent and more patient with people. I'm more likely that if someone's, let's say, not having a good day, I'll realise it. They're just not having a good day. It's fine. I think those are probably the top 3.
Well, here's another question. Yeah. If alcohol-free were a superpower, what would it be?
Oh. This is hard doing it as a quick fire, because I feel like I need to think. If it were, do you mean like a name for a superpower, or
or like what?
Unstoppable?
Unstoppable. Yeah, like that. I think that's what it does. It makes many of us unstoppable.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Good on you. You're going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly.
Jenny, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm thrilled that you saved me all those years ago from the embarrassment of no one in my book queue. I've got another one of those books. I'm going to give you another one of those before you go as a thank you. Thank you for joining me and travelling
to
join me today. Keep being fabulous.
Thank you.
And I'm excited for your future.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Andy. It was lovely to be here.
Let's do this. As always, thank you so much for listening. I'd be so grateful if you could follow along. Only a small percentage of people actually follow the podcasts that they love and know and like and trust. So by following, you'll get notified, you'll get reminded when the next episode drops. You don't miss any of the wisdom, the connection, and the momentum that comes from hopefully tuning into these conversations. So please do make sure to follow or subscribe, whatever your setup is, so you don't miss out. And as always, just a reminder, head to coachbusiness.school if you want to come and train with me. It's what I do best to become a coach. If you're already a qualified coach, you can check out my Coach MBA, which is all about marketing and business for coaches. And don't forget my incredible drink, Authentic Brew. Go to authenticbrew.com. Functional wellness at its best. Until next time, keep rocking it on your dry adventures, and I shall see you soon. Your coach, Andy.